What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of Hood Tales, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end so you can hear the full story and all the details in the case. For my day one fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Oh yeah, feel free to share the channel with your peoples. Everybody is welcome. With that being said, let's get right into the story. When you are a young man in your prime with a few dollars in your pocket and dating, that can for sure be one of the best times in your life. No attachments, just having fun and going with the flow. As you should, until you are ready to settle down. Most of the time in the dating world, at the most, men might feel like they have to worry about is spending too much money or somebody trying to put pressure on them to commit, wanting you to make them your main girl when you are not ready yet. But when we throw on them clothes, leave the house to go link up with shorty, most never ask themselves, who am I really dealing with? Do I truly know this person or what they have going on? We know it's really one thing on our mind, getting our rocks off and having fun. We all have caught ourselves on a late night, driving up the highway, going somewhere we don't know nothing about, just hoping for that end game to go our way. Of course, later on, you might think back to yourself and say, I was geeking. That situation could have went bad. But that's for the lucky ones. Other times, people get caught up thinking they are really getting to know a person, believing what they say. You might ask them, are they single? Do they live alone? And they say, yeah, of course. And we go with our move. Not knowing, people lie. And if they are trying to pull a move themselves, why would they tell you the truth? And truth be told, for many, they don't care anyway for real. Besides, if the person you are meeting up with has a significant other, that's their problem. Their peoples are cheating. Not yours, right? Until it is. And on this episode of Hood Tales, we'll be taking it to the Bronx, New York to discuss the case of a man who caught his girlfriend cheating and made her help get rid of her side dude. Back in 2018, things were going good for 24-year-old Deshawn. The Virginia native had his ups and downs in life. He grew up in poverty in the area in which some would call the trenches. He into the young man getting caught up at an early age on a gun charge. After serving a few years though, Deshawn was now a free man and getting his life back on track. He got a job at a local fast food restaurant in his hometown of Portsmouth, Virginia, and even was dating and looking for a girlfriend. Described as a laid-back, funny young man with a DMV swag, Deshawn was in his prime. He caught the attention of a few women, including at the time 29-year-old Jonisha Graham. It's not clear how the two met, since Jonisha lived all the way in the Bronx and Deshawn lived miles away in VA, but they found themselves talking on a regular basis. And soon, the two were feeling each other and making plans to link up. Deshawn offered to take a trip to the Big Apple to see her. And in November 2018, the plan was put in motion. The whole time, the young man didn't know Jonisha had a boyfriend, an older gentleman, 49-year-old Christopher Mowry. The couple had been together for a minute, even had plans of getting married. They shared the apartment in Edenwald Projects in the Bronx. But the two had not been seeing eye to eye, and Jonisha was about to step out on a relationship. When the day finally came for Deshawn to slide up, he figured it would be a quick turnaround, so he didn't tell his peoples. Not having a car himself, it's not clear how the young man got up there, but he made it and pulled up to the building. Jonisha told him to come up, and the two would talk for a minute and do their grown-up thing before just relaxing. Fast forward a few days later, Deshawn had not been to work and family didn't hear from the young man, causing concern. Until November 19th, a few miles away in Yonkers, New York, an employee that worked at a Wells Fargo bank on Odell Avenue went outside to throw something in the dumpster. When they saw a suspicious bag, thinking it could be a bomb or something like that, they called local police, who sent out units to investigate. At first, everybody just thought somebody was targeting the bank, but they soon would realize it was a totally different scenario. Once they realized the bag had no bomb in it, One of the officers opened it up and discovered the body of a man who was stabbed multiple times and had been gone for a minute. He had no wallet or identification on him, but once the information was released to the news and also a description, Deshawn's people knew exactly who it was, as unfortunately the young man was now deceased and nobody even knew what he was doing in New York in the first place, not even police. They would eventually use surveillance footage from the bank and nearby businesses that showed the car pull up in the late night hours and a man and woman get out and place the bag by the dumpster. The vehicle was tracked down all the way back to the Bronx, and police felt they had their suspects. After canvassing the building for a minute, one man in particular fit the description of the person from the bank video, and that was 49-year-old Christopher. Police would get a search warrant to search his and Jonisha's apartment. Inside was blood stains. The living room smelled like pine sol, bleach, and other chemicals. Police determined after interviewing Jonisha that she was in fact seeing Deshawn. She stated her and Christopher were having problems, and usually he wouldn't stay at the apartment, but he popped up on the day Deshawn came to visit. He opened the door, saw the two together, and snapped, stabbing the young man multiple times, then told her to take his clothes off, put him in a talk, and then a bag, and help him get rid of the body. Claiming she was scared, she agreed. With that information, both Jonisha and Christopher were taken into custody. He was charged with first-degree hit, and she was charged with concealing a homicide and accessory after the fact. Doing all my research, I couldn't find any information on how the case played out, even though it was a big case. I don't know if either Christopher or Jonisha was ever convicted. But either way, rest in peace to Deshawn. I send my prayers and condolences to his family. His uncle said something that caught my attention, that Deshawn used to always carry guns, but after coming home from his gun case, he changed his life. He told him, like, "Unc, nobody is trying to hurt me. I don't need no gun no more," thinking he was safe. And then this happened to him. Jonisha was all the way in the wrong, no doubt about it, telling the man to come over, knowing at any given time, Christopher could pop up. I mean, even if Deshawn did think she was single, to come to another city, to the projects to see a girl, is wild. He wasn't even driving to get out of the situation if things got real. But I'm sure Shorty assured him things would be okay. Christopher did what most men do. Instead of telling Deshawn, like, "Go ahead, little bro," and checking his girl, he crashed out and took his anger out on Deshawn, not realizing he was just being a man. Your girl had to lay down as well. But I'm going to leave this one open for discussion. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the situation. And have you yourself ever been talking to an individual and either pulled up or thought about pulling up only to realize they were in a relationship or something wasn't right? Let me know your experiences in the comments. And remember, we gotta succeed not to fail, so we won't be just another hood tale. Yeah, man, crazy story. Rest in peace, that young man. I definitely send my prayers to his family. But I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. This is another episode of Hood Tales. This your boy Tony 2 times. I'm out.